Hey guys, a bit of a secret project I've been working on. So secret, in fact, that I've been forgetting to actually document what's going on. This has been a build for a Secret Santa that I've been involved with this year. And given the small time frame to work with, I decided to work on a smaller project. And actually, the recipient that I'm building this for is none other than Zombona, who, if you don't know who he is, you should check him out, and I'll go ahead and put a link in the description. But he's very well known for very impressive Boomco mods, and so I wanted to build something that I could, that he could use, and I know he's a Boomco guy, so I thought I'll modify this thing for Boomco. And I tried a lot of different experiments. I tried the Exploder's barrel that I've heard works so good, and it does fit, but it's more of an air blaster fit, so much that it's just kind of drops out. So there's no way for it to actually seal. I also heard that you can use some 7/16, I believe, brass, which there again is a very nice fit, just barely loose. But even with the slightest bit of a tightening ring, it's still enough that because of the inconsistencies in the Boomco straws, some fit way too snug and some don't fit quite snug enough. So I couldn't get that to work, and so the final thing I tried was to take the Exploder's barrel and fit a short piece down around the air restrictor, and then I fit a small O-ring that's just a bit snug on the neck of the straw, and then the rest of the barrel, and fit that down inside. And technically it worked, but it was either too much restriction of the O-ring in the barrel, or it wasn't engaging the air restrictor right. But I just couldn't get the whole system to work the way I wanted it to work. So regrettably, it's still a regular Nerf blaster. So hopefully he can still enjoy it for what it is. But to the blaster itself, you older subscribers would probably remember this from several mod live stream attempts that I did, where I started building this and then kind of came to a crossroads that I don't remember what the situation was, but I kind of abandoned the project for a while. So I took this opportunity to pick it back up, and this, of course, is a Doublestrike, like so, with a Nitefinder handle integrated in, the kind of a barrel area of a Reflex, that includes this piece here, and then this top rail part, kind of an extended rail, is from the top rail of a Rapidstrike, some scraps that I had left over, and this bottom piece is the bottom of a Stryfe, the bottom front rail of a Stryfe. And kind of fitting those all together, you kind of end up with this kind of sci-fi-ish, boxy-nosed kind of pistol-y thing. But I think it looks very nice, especially compared to the dimensions and the proportions of the stock Doublestrike. Having that more swept-back handle really gives it a little more pizzazz, so to speak. And extending the barrel kind of gives the proportions, makes them a little bit better. It's actually very well balanced. I mean, it points well, it's balanced well, it does the nice twirly thing, and that's all fun and games. Ergonomics aren't affected, having the sweep, whereas the regular grip is a little more like that. This is swept back a little bit more, but it doesn't affect the prime, so that's good to know. It does function. This is a stock spring and everything, but since this is mostly a cosmetic mod, then I will leave it to him to decide if he wants to upgrade it or not. I did have to add a little bit of putty in here to blend in the little area here where it's coped out around the trigger well, and did add a little bit more putty up here to kind of blend the top part here, because it was just kind of boxed off, and I was going to leave it, but I thought, I want to go the extra mile with this and just try to make it look as clean as possible, especially on a small scale. All these little things are going to show pretty well. Any little imperfections or anything like that. I wasn't sure what to do here, and so I did add a little bit of putty just to help be able to shape that whole area and make that a little more cohesive and stuff like that. The front is still fairly open. I still need to work on that. That's going to be probably the next big aspect of the project, is to even out this opening here. Probably bring it up a little bit more. Probably close it in on the sides a little bit, so while you're feeding darts in a hurry, you're not just stabbing them into the void in there. But that's kind of where we're at right now. Like I said, I've got those few little areas of bodywork to finish up, and then probably get into paint and stuff like that, and I will update you guys as soon as it's a little bit prettier looking. Hey guys, just a quick overview video before I get this thing put in a box and shipped out. It came out pretty okay. It's painted with vinyl dye because that's what I had on hand, and that's what I was most familiar with, and given the time constraints, I didn't want to experiment with a new kind of paint or anything, especially with the weather cooling off over here. But the masking tape bled a little bit, which is kind of a bummer, but I trust that its new owner will either be able to fix it or repaint it himself, or at least have the resources to get that taken care of if he should choose to do that. But the actual blending itself of the body, the different components together, I'm really happy with, and I don't know if it'll show up decently on the camera here. I'll try to include some still shots maybe at the end of the video, but really came out pretty good. I'm really pleased with it. It's comfortable. The opening here, I wanted to form out of plastic, but I didn't have the time or means, and so that is putty, so it is significantly heavier in the front, but it does it still balances pretty well. I mean, I guess it'll holster really nice, I mean, having the weight there in the muzzle, but it's not awkwardly heavy. It's just a little heavier than I originally anticipated. But no, I'm really happy with how this came out, and I think this wasn't exactly a quick project, but a lot quicker than most of my other ones. But yeah, I could kind of see doing a few more kind of smaller projects like this in the future. Really kind of an enjoyable practice in doing things a little bit differently, thinking on a much smaller scale than what I'm used to. So performance is stock, but it is very much functional still. But yeah, I'll be putting this in the box and shipping it out later today, and I hope Zombona likes it.